So if you don't already know me, my name is Sarah Fuller from University of Missouri, Pre-Employment Transition Services. And I just want to thank you all for finding the time to come visit with us. We'll be talking with Miss Maria today from Midwest Technical Institute, which is in Springfield. And she will be doing a presentation for us, and then we will get to see a virtual tour and actually see what their campus looks like. And then we will get to ask some questions. So just be mindful of time so that everyone gets a chance to ask. And you may ask by raising your hand, or you may ask into the chat box whenever we say it's the time to ask, basically. So, all right, Miss Maria, you can take it away.
Awesome. Well, can everybody hear me okay? Give me a thumbs up. Okay. Like Sarah said, I work at Midwest Technical Institute here in Springfield, Missouri, and I work with high school students, just like you. And I help you through the process of bridging that gap from being a high school graduate to possibly attending a tech school. And really what a tech school means is it's abbreviated program. It's a hands-on program, almost like on-the-job training or on-the-job learning. We don't require general education courses, so it's going to be just the program that you're learning. And I'll go into more detail about it, but that's what I do. I also help you with scholarships. And I'm kind of your go-to contact person for high school students that plan to attend MTI. So this is our campus here in Springfield. If you've ever been to the mall, our campus is right by the mall. So it's super close and very commutable. But this is me. I'm from Macon, Missouri. So I always kind of talk about work and thinking about working and how many hours you spend in working, or even a work day in general. Sometimes it can go by slow. It just feels like it's kind of creeping by. And if you do the math on it, you will be in a career for about 100,000 hours. And so if you've ever thought a school day travels by slowly, definitely know that if you're going to be in a job for 100,000 hours, we want you to be in something you like, something you enjoy, something you have a passion about. And that's what we're going to talk about today, is focusing on your future, making sure you have a plan and just how to roll out that plan, how to execute it, and make for sure that it's going to work for you. So there are lots of plans after high school. You could go straight to like a traditional college. You could enlist in the military. You could go straight to work, or you could go to a tech school. And what MTI is, we're a tech school, and I'll talk about a little bit about all those options. So when you guys think of job, it's different than career. Give me a thumbs up if you agree. Job and career are a little bit different. Yeah, they are. So when you think of job, it might be like your high school job, or it might be something you have when you're, early and when you're younger. But when you think of career, you really want it to be something you love, something that you're excited about, something that you're passionate about. So what I want to talk about today is really thinking about that, your passion, and how we can translate that into a career. So how do you know a career is right for you? How do you know it's a good fit for you? Some things you might want to start thinking about are, do you like it? Is it something you enjoy? Is it something you want to invest your time in? Another thing you want to think about is your goals and dreams. You might want to live on your own one day. You might want a car, whatever that looks like for you. You want to make for sure that career is going to get you there. And also something a lot of high school students might not think about, but it's growth and demand. You want to make for sure you're going into a field where there's growth and demand, meaning there's jobs there for you. You don't want to go into a field where there's no jobs, right? You're not going to get very far. So these are some things you want to research early on. Make sure it's something you like. Make for sure it's going to be able to get you to your goals and dreams, and make sure there's jobs around you and there's jobs in the area. And then one other little thing is to make for sure it fits your personality. And some people forget about this, but I'm a public speaker. I speak in front of small groups, large groups, you name it. But if you don't like public speaking, do you think you're going to like my job? Probably not. So again, make for sure their career you're going into fits your personality. And you're like, how do I know? What are the answers to these questions? Some answers would be definitely Mr. Google, do some research on your own. but also talk to people in that career field, job shadow, utilize your teachers, your instructors, or even me. I can help you point you in the right direction to have some of those conversations with working professionals to see if that might be a good fit for you. And the skills gap is exactly what it says it is. There's a gap in skills in certain career fields. And those career fields are construction fields, so things like welding and HVAC and electricians. And then also in the medical, dental, cosmetology, and professional truck driving field. So there's over 500,000 jobs that just sit there open that would love for you to apply and work there. But people just don't have those jobs or don't have those skills, and so they can't fill those jobs. You sitting at home right now, this could be an option for you, that you could be one of the future career people that fill these jobs. Is that there's a skills gap. There's jobs out there. They want you guys to fill them. And again, we can talk a little bit about how that works and how you can start planning for that now. I briefly want to talk about MTI and what we're about. So we are hands-on workforce training. So you're not just going to be sitting in a classroom. You're going to be up. You're going to be moving around every day. Give me a thumbs up if you like to kind of learn in a hands-on type of style. Good. Most of our programs are done in less than a year. So some people have to go to school for 8 years, 4 years, 6 years to do the career field that they want to do. But there are lots of options out there where you don't have to. They're much shorter, much more expedited programs. We don't require general education courses. So math, public speaking, British literature, all those different types of courses, we do not require those. So again, that makes your program very, very short. We have small class sizes, and so we want to know you. We want to know what makes you tick. We really want to develop a relationship with you, and in order to do that, we can't have 80 students in a class. We have to keep those classrooms small, and we do that by putting a cap on it. So a max of 20 students. So again, we want to get to know you and have that relationship with you while you're here at MTI. We have lifetime job placement, and this is huge. So instead of just giving you your diploma and your certifications, and send you out the door, we don't just say, good luck, we hope you find a job. A huge part of MTI and how we're different is we help you with that process. We will literally call, set you up on interviews. We will bring in recruiting managers. We will bring in anybody we can to help get you placed. And we're happy to do that for you. And another thing is it's for life. So say you get a job, you work there for 3 years, and you're like, wait a minute, maybe I want to go in a different direction. Just know that we will still help you find a job, even if it's been a few years. We have financial aid available, and we also have scholarships. And I'll talk about those scholarships here in just a minute. But last but certainly not least is flexible schedules. We have both day and evening classes. So the programs we offer, we have mechanical trades. Those things include welding, so bridges, buildings, anytime metal on metal gets put together, you're going to need a welder. And then we also have HVAC and electrical. So if you like to take things apart, put things back together, if you like solving puzzles, tech work is awesome. Very similar to like a car repairman would be to a car. An HVAC electrician, tech is very similar. If your heat isn't working, if your air conditioning isn't working, you name it, these men and women are very, very important and well sought after. We also have medical programs. It's through Allied Health. They're Allied Health certified programs, and those are medical coding, medical assisting, dental assisting, and phlebotomy. So if anything about the medical field interests you or it's something you're excited about, we have those programs. The next one, we have cosmetology. So if you like to do hair, nails, and makeup and be fun and creative and make money doing it, cosmetology could be a great field for you. And last but not least is professional truck driving. And this might not be something everybody always thinks about, but I can almost guarantee you most of the food you ate today, the clothes you have on your back, probably the chairs we're sitting in, all came from a big truck, a big rig. Somebody had to drive that here. So they are very important. They are very vital and very well sought after, again, part of that skills gap. So these are some of my scholarship winners from last year. So let me tell you about some of our scholarship processes and options we have. You don't have to write an essay, nothing like that. There's a couple big options. The first one is a video, and you Does anybody know what a TikTok is? Give me a thumbs up if you know what a TikTok is. It's just a short little video about yourself. And you would tell me, hey, I want to go into welding and this is why. I want to attend MTI and this is why. And I think I deserve the scholarship and this is why. I'll help you film it. I'll help you put it together. But the top prize for that is full tuition paid. So you could get a full ride and not have to write one single essay. As far as admissions requirements, you don't have to have a certain GPA. And you also are not required to take an ACT or SAT. The most important thing is that you graduate. So definitely stay on track for that. But that's the only admissions requirement. And also it's free to apply. So it's free to, of course, visit the school, check us out, but it's definitely a free to apply to the school. But these are just some of my winners from last year. And they also participated in something called Career Nights. It's kind of like an open house. You come in, you check us out, we give you dinner, but it's also a scholarship opportunity. If you can come to all three of our events, they're February 11th, March 11th, and April 8th, you will earn a $500 scholarship. So come eat, come check us out, and we would love to offer you that scholarship opportunity. There's another video, but I'm going to go ahead and skip it just on the safe side, just because it doesn't play on your end. And then I want to wrap it up by talking about financial aid. So we absolutely offer financial aid if you qualify. It's a free service. We'll help you fill out the FAFSA. We'll sit down with your mom and your dad and walk you through that process. And we'll also discuss scholarships and scholarship opportunities as well. All right. Okay, so here's a picture of our campus again. We're located right there next to the mall in Springfield. Here is our lobby, and I'll make this bigger for you so you can really see it. But here's our lobby. There's a front door. There's our campus president, and this is my office. If you can see my mouse moving right here, that's my office. And there's the rest of admissions. And then there's a couple more offices over there, but let's get to the good stuff. Let's get to the labs. We'll start off with cosmetology, and I'll swing you around. So cosmetologists, they do hair, they do nails, you name it, eyelash extensions, waxing, facials. This is an example of our cosmetology classroom. And I want to show you our cosmetology labs. So there's a couple views. So this is like the spa area in the back where you can get your nails done. Has anyone ever got a pedicure? I know I have. It's amazing. But that's where they do and paint your toenails and everything. That's done there. And then here's the lab up front. And then this is where they do your hair. And so they work with clients, you work with students, you name it. They have their own entrance so they can work with clients. And there's someone getting a haircut right there. And then that is the salon. It's huge. It goes all the way back. And then that spa part is in the very back where my mouse was pointing. Let's see what else we got here. So here's another view coming up from the front. Kind of shows you a little bit of the mirrors and the stations that all the girls and guys get. And then this is dental assisting. So if you've ever been to the dentist, you've met a dental assistant. They're much like a nurse is to a doctor, a dental assistant is to a dentist. And so they take x-rays, they work on, so I'm sure we've all had x-rays if you've been in the dentist, crowns, bridges, you name it, cleanings, they do so much. But this is a little snapshot of our dental lab. They get to wear scrubs, all this equipment, all the x-ray machines, all of this works. He would definitely like it, but they get to wear scrubs all day. They get to be super comfortable. So the next one is HVAC. And so they do heating, air conditioning, ventilation, you name it. This is a kind of a snapshot of their labs. Kind of go all in, but their lab is really big too. They start off with basic electricity. So if you like even computer parts or anything like that, you might like HVAC. So here's a little, they have this little mini house. So just how they have little dental stations set up in the dental lab, they have a little mini house and you can get under the crawl space of the house. You can kind of see what it looks like. It's really cool. And then the next program we have is welding. So again, anytime metal on metal touches. This is a picture of the back of our labs. We have 40 weld booths there on campus. Really cool. They get to be really creative and design things. I didn't know a lot about welding, I'll be honest. It was a pretty new program to me, so it was so cool to learn about it. all the things they can build. And they challenged me to pretty much any room you ever go into, you'll see something has been welded. And I'm like, really? And they would walk into a room and they would show me like 5 things something that a welder had built that I never would have thought that was something that they were doing. Because I always thought like bridges and trucks and cars, but any type of fabrication, anytime, again, metal on metal touches. So it's a really cool program too. And there's a lot of welding positions in Springfield. I did not know this, but Springfield is the capital in the nation for stainless steel. So just a type of metal and not fabrication, but it's just kind of cool. And so here's medical assisting, very similar to nursing. Here's a picture of their labs. So you can see someone's getting their blood drawn over there. They have a lab portion, so using like a microscope and testing there in the back. They start off using fake arms to draw blood, and then they eventually start to work up to each other. And then they have these little hospital clinic stations that they work in as well. And then last, but certainly not least, is CDL. So they have their own range. If you know the town of Republic and Springfield, they meet. And right in the middle, we have our own range. And that just is like a giant parking lot for our students to practice driving those big trucks, those big semi trucks. But that's there, if you can see those. But that's us in a nutshell. But let me know what questions you might have. Like I said, we've got awesome programs, awesome scholarships. We don't require gen eds. You're in and out in less than a year, and we'll help you find a job. Like I said, we're right here in Springfield, so hopefully we're pretty commutable for everybody, flexible schedules. But that's pretty much us in a nutshell. What questions might you have? You feel free to raise your hand and fire away.
Yeah, so I think folks are muted at the moment, but if you see that reaction tab on your screen, you can raise your hand. Does anybody have any questions for Maria? Okay, so right now I don't see any questions, so I'll go ahead and ask mine.
I'm ready.
So I wanted to know, do you also have a basic nursing assistant for 7 weeks?
We do at some campuses. At ours, we do not. We focus on medical assisting, and here's why. Every state's different, and our mission statement is we want you to be employable. We want you to have a job afterwards. In every state, that picture looks different. And right now, in the state of Missouri, there's not a huge demand for that. And again, we want to focus on careers that are in very, very high demand. So some of our campuses have that because every state's different, every area is different. But at our campus, in our area, there's not a huge demand for that. And so again, we don't want to give you something you're not going to be able to use. So in Springfield, we do not. Great question, though.
Okay, Terry says, when is the best time to apply to the school?
Well, Terry, I can share my screen really quick again, and I have a QR code. But if you take your smartphone out, just your iPhone or whatever you got, open up your camera app. So just like you're getting ready to take a picture. So you're on this screen, and then hold it up to that QR code. And then just fill out an info card. A little thing will pop up. It'll say, do you want to open it? And you just click on that and then fill out the info card. And then I will contact you and I'll schedule a visit to come up. So visiting the school, of course, is free. All of our events are free. Applying to the school is free. We want it to be accessible to everybody. So feel free to, like I said, take a picture of that and fill out the info card. And I will be in contact. Any other questions? That was a great one.
Oh, it looks like asked, have any, I think she means fire drills or school bells going on?
At our campus, so we have 3 different types of drills. We'll do a fire drill, and then more like a weather drill, so like a tornado drill. And then they have an intruder type of drill. We do those monthly, and those sync up with, I know the storm one is the first Wednesday of every month. And then we have a fire drill. I don't think the fire drill is monthly. I'm on the road a lot, so I'm not in the office frequently. But I do know the storm one is monthly, and then the intruder drill is quarterly. So that 4 times a year. And we don't, you'll stay with your class the whole time. So say you did dental, you would start in the classroom for a little bit, and then that whole class would go to the lab, and then you would go back to the classroom together. Each program has a little bit of a different agenda every day, so we don't do bells, but there is a start and an end time.
So I did want to also ask, if somebody chooses to disclose a disability or share with you all that they have an IEP,
Yeah.
what happens then?
Great question. So you can, of course, tell me that at any time. There's even a question about it on our health affidavit. And if that's something you wish to disclose, we absolutely want to help you. So we'll sit down with you and our director of education, and we will do a planning meeting. We'll talk about any needs you have. Maybe it's extra test time. Maybe it's certain lighting. Maybe it's being by yourself when you take a test, whatever it is. We want to accommodate you to the best of your ability. But what's great about that is we will do that before you even start. So you will have that lined out. You know what that's going to look like. Your teacher knows what that's going to look like, to make for sure we're meeting your needs. Because we want to meet you where you're at. And it looks different for everybody. And so that's what we would do if someone said they had an IEP. I've definitely worked with lots of students who have had them. And again, it's just a simple meeting. If your parents are comfortable and want to come, they can. It's not required, but we would love for them to be a part of the process if they can. And again, we'll sit down and talk about what's on your end of life education plan and what that looks like for you and any special needs that you might need. Great question.
Looks like there's another question on how long do they last? I don't know if that is, I think that might be referring to the class periods.
Sure, that's a good question. Kind of your schedule. It'll vary by program, but most programs are 5 hours a day. So it's usually a little bit shorter than a high school day. And it's usually 4 days a week. So that's kind of nice. You usually have every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday off. And so a couple schedule examples is like 8 to 1. There's some noon to 5, which is our afternoon courses. And then we have some 5:30 to 10:30 for our evenings.
I also wondered if, I believe you mentioned to me that if you are doing the welding, your testing is not really written. It's you have to be observed and do a hands-on activity. And that's how you pass a test. Is that the same for the medical stuff, or is that only in some?
Yes and no. So the welding, there's just a practical portion. But for some of the other certifications, most of them have both. And if you think about like a driver's test, how there's like the written portion, and then there's a practical portion when you're actually driving. That is true for all the rest of our programs except for welding. Welding is just the practical portion. And again, if you ever have any special needs, that's something we can discuss early on. Most of our programs, like our dental and our medical program, our medical program, they proctor it here. So you get to be here in your own, environment. You don't have to go somewhere new. So that's kind of cool. But it's different for each program, but there's usually a written and a practical for most of them.
And did you say, I'm sorry if you already mentioned it, did you say that if you do a disclosure and have the meeting that you can have extended time on tests, or is that not an option?
Yeah, it's really whatever your IEP says. So, I know I even helped put it together. It was a light that I had a gentleman that needed a special light. That's helped him, feel at ease or whatever it was, a special frequency of light. If that's what it is, like usually the way it's written is the person would need like 2.5 test times. So if there would be an hour would be a scheduled time, then that person would be able to get 2.5 hours. Maybe they need a quiet space. Really, whatever that IEP says, we want to follow that and work as closely with them as possible to really make for sure that they're on a level as playing field as possible and they're comfortable. And the instructor knows what's happening. So it's not something that happens like midday, like you already know ahead of time, it'll be well planned out. And I would want that, if that was me, I would want to know what that looked like going in. And so that's just a really nice thing that it's done beforehand. It's already settled to make for sure that we're meeting all those needs of your IEP.
Wonderful. This says, could people with sensitive hearing get out of class early when there is a drill?
Oh, absolutely. Yes. If you have any sensory processing or, any loud noises, anything like that, that you might need, absolutely. Just discuss that early on. They're all planned. So none of them just happen randomly unless it's an actual drill. Like it's not a drill, it's actually happening. But yes, if that is something it's a sensory trigger for you, hands down, of course.
Anyone else have questions? You can click the reaction and I can unmute you if you want, or you can type in the chat. Let me know. I think I have one more question.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Oh, no, not on the chat. It's
Oh, okay.
So does your cosmetology do services for the public? Is that what you said?
Absolutely, they do. I love to talk about this. So they do services with the public. So you can get your nails done. You can get waxing, facials, all but super, super discounted. Students actually get free haircuts and get super discounted services. But yes, we work with the public all the time. And they do a lot of kind of philanthropic things as well. They do like free back to school haircuts. They work with ambassadors for children, which is just kind of like a foster care. They help the kids that are in foster care. But yes, I get pampered there all the time. And you can see they need to be filled, but oh yeah, it's like $10 to get your nails done there. Yeah.
That's a good kept secret, I guess.
Yes, it is. And they even do eyelash extensions, waxing, you name it, pedicures, manicures, the whole 9 yards. But yes, there's a salon menu. I can even scan it and send it to you of all the services that they provide.
That would be awesome. I was actually going to ask, do you have a place where I can look it up?
Come get pampered. No, I'll email it to you today.
Awesome. Okay, one more. Well, I think Madam President, she already answered and said that there is a tornado siren, right? But you have a drill, but there's not like a town siren, citywide siren.
There's a high school pretty close, and you can hear it if you really, really try. But we have like an emergency alert system within the building. But again, if that was a sensory trigger for somebody, we would they're scheduled. So you could step out for a few minutes and then come back. No problem. Yeah, that wouldn't be an issue at all.
Okay, wonderful. All right. Well, I just want to thank you all so much for being here. And Maria, you are awesome. And it's so nice to be able to feel like we're in the building even when we can't be. So I really, really appreciate it.
Great. Well, thank you everyone for your time. And again, thank you, Sarah, for inviting me. I appreciate it.
Yes. All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.